Department stores Myer and David Jones have been trumpeting their latest profit results as signs they're taking the fight up to their many competitors. The big two point to the success of new management and transformation plans to bring back the shoppers. But analysts say the glory days could be behind them as the cashed-up baby boomers wane and internet-savvy consumers shop differently. Andrew Robertson has been investigating.
When Richard Umbers took the top job at Myer a year ago, he was very clear on the way forward.
We have to understand who the customer is and then build an offer which really does respond to the changing nature of the customer in today's retail climate.
A year on, Mr Umbers' first full-year result shows how tough that's going to be. Myer lifted sales by 3% to $3.3 billion. But in 2007, in its last full year of ownership by Coles, Myer's sales were $3.3 billion. And while sales have gone nowhere, profit has fallen 27% from $84 million to $61 million.
Myer are a very capably run organisation, but they're swimming or sailing into heavy tide winds against them, as is the department store sector globally.
Despite those headwinds, Richard Umbers was doing his best to talk up Myer's prospects when he appeared on the business again last week.
It's probably more important to look at what is being delivered over a longer period of time.
The problem is that the business model is just fundamentally broken. What do you do?
It's a similar story at David Jones. Under the ownership of South Africa's Woolworths, DJ's has been trumpeting its latest profit growth, but it's only doing slightly better than Myer. Sales last financial year were $2.2 billion. That's just 10% more than in 2007. Profit in 2007 was $159 million. In 2016, $168 million, a rise of just 6%.
They really had their zenith in the 90s and the 80s, if you like, pre-internet, pre-globalisation, pre-Amazon.
When baby boomers were in their prime. But internet-savvy Gen Y is fast becoming the biggest demographic. They shop online, and when they do go to a department store, they shop differently.
They're not needing the store to browse like they used to use a store to browse. And so they're coming in less frequently, and therefore you're getting less of that extra purchase. Like, just because I'm looking around a shop, I just happen to be picking up something else while I'm in there.
Fashion is the bread and butter of David Jones and Myer, spearheaded every year with their famous catwalk parades with highly priced models. But foreign bricks and mortar invaders are now taking hundreds of millions of dollars of that market, making life even harder for DJs and Myer, who were already leaking sales in large volumes to the homegrown specialty shops which populate the major shopping centres.
I think profit and revenue growth, or particularly revenue growth at any time in the near future, is really wishful thinking. It's going to be a long time to see that top line grow materially from here.
The reality of the situation facing Myer and David Jones is that they're stuck in the headlights of structural change. And just like newspapers, manufacturing and Australia Post, to name a few, they're powerless to turn back the tide. It's for that reason that there's once again talk of the two stores joining forces.
We heard conversation about David Jones and Myer in some form of merger a couple of years ago. I personally think that'll come back onto the table in time to come. So David Jones would have to be, or the Woolworths South Africa business would have to be, a prominent interested party in time to come.
For now, though, both Myer and DJ's are planning to shrink their way to growing their profits.
They're closing stores at a really fast rate. There's going to be something like 20% less space on Myer's own stores 5 years hence.
David Jones is no longer listed, but the stock market has long since made its views known on Myer. Today's price of $1.25 is 70% below the $4.10 Myer floated at in 2009.
Hi, my name is Brian Walker, CEO and founder of Retail Doctor Group. Retailing today is about changing faster than your competitors. Contact us on retaildoctor.com.au to see how the leaders do it.